yeah. What's up, everybody? We are here with a special interview with Adam Godson, CEO of Paradox. I am Joel Cheeseman. He is Chad Sowash. We are the Chad and Cheese Podcast. Adam, welcome.
Great to be with you guys. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you. Great to have you. So, CEO of Paradox, we'll get to the business thing in a second. Give us a little bit of you. What makes Adam tick? Family, sports team, what's walks on the beach. Talk about you for a second.
Nice.
He's deep into baseball season.
I was like, is this like a dating profile thing? Is that what we're doing here? Okay. I live in Wisconsin, split time between Wisconsin and in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yeah.
I am from Iowa originally. Love the Hawkeyes. As Chad knows. Been in recruiting my entire career.
Do you have a Caitlin Clark jersey?
I don't have a jersey, but I do love some Caitlin Clark. She's really fantastic.
She's coming to our town.
She's coming to here, yes.
Down
to Indiana. That's great. But I'm married. My lovely wife Andrea. I've got two boys. They're in middle school, so those awkward years. They're playing lots of travel baseball. So I'll be in Indiana a couple times this summer.
And you started out as a recruiter. Is that correct? Talk
I did.
About that.
Yeah, I did. So started as a recruiter, worked in HR, had the tech bug, and worked in HR tech, and here we are.
Here we are.
That was a recruiter. Now I'm a tech person and CEO. So I like how you jumped right to the chase. So give us your definition of AI and the state of AI in recruiting right now.
Sure. The definition is tricky. AI means lots of things. There's the computational definition, then there's the marketing definition of what that means. But I take it broadly to mean something that is mimicking what a human might do. And so thinking about how a computer might act as a human otherwise might, and then also using computational techniques that are built from data and not explicitly programmed. So I think that those are the two characteristics that are really, really important when you talk about AI in the space. Where we are, we're actually kind of in early days. So the marketing was ahead for a long time, and the actual technology is catching up. And I'm not sure. And I think the marketing has just started to confuse everyone about what is.
All right. So, sports guy, what inning are we in?
We're in the second inning.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in the second inning. So things are going to change quite a bit, but there's a lot yet to be written.
So go deeper on conversational AI. How's that different from generative? Because obviously everybody knows, ChatGPT, OpenAI came out, big splash.
LLM, all these acronyms I got to figure out.
Again, conversational AI, because Paradox started out as a chatbot. That's not as sexy as conversational AI. What's the difference between chatbot, conversational AI, and then are there parallels with generative AI?
Yeah, for sure. So if you think about how to break that down, what changed was the availability of compute power to create large language models.
GPUs.
So GPUs, the fancy people call it compute, and the folks like NVIDIA and Intel, et cetera, being able to create large language models. And those were the basis for for ChatGPT. So being able to use a large language model to do some really impressive things and do some really advanced chat in that. And what's different about generative is that it generates something new. So it's creating something new based on its knowledge of the world. And so conversational AI can be generative or can be non-generative. So we call that like a defined response model. So historically, we had lots of defined response model. We understand you're trying to ask a question about your benefits. We go get the answer for benefits. In a generative way model, you would say, I understand you're asking a question about benefits. I have some information about benefits. I'm going to write a new answer based on what I know about benefits. And then there's some magic middle there. And that's where we spent a lot of time in the last year with what they call retrieval augmented generation models and other ways to find the magic middle between those two things. I want something that's better than a defined response, because that's a lot of work. I also want to be sure that I'm going to be right. And so if I ask what the benefits are, I should be right. And so using some models that are a hybrid of those things so that we can be able to get answers that are defined some of the time when we need to, a legal question, something like that.
Right.
And then also have some safety in using a retrieval augmented generation model to be able to get the right answer, flourish it with some cool things about memory and emojis or other things that make it seem really real, but also could deliver you the right answer.
So instead of possibly having hallucinations, which
exactly
everybody's worried about in the business.
And they should be, right? I think there's been some interesting cases that show liability. So if you give someone the wrong answer, that you can be liable for that. And so wanting to be sure that there are guardrails, and everyone wants to look smart, right? Everyone wants to get the right answer, but people are seeking the efficiency of not having to answer millions of questions that are usually the same. So lots of different techniques to make that happen.
What a boring job.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we can
let
do
the
better
computers.
things.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say a lot of people that just heard that heard blah, 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 blah. So AI to one person isn't the same as another person, and you are dealing in a universe of products that all say AI. And although I think most people know not all AI is the same, how do I decipher through this AI in the low end, which really may not even be AI, to Chat&GPT and all the big co's that are making, the big tech companies that are doing it? You guys play in that middle part, I would think. How do you cut through the clutter and really explain to a customer how you're different in a very cluttered ecosystem?
Yeah, I actually think the answer is pretty simple. It's about helping them figure out what work they need to get done. I don't see people as often going shopping like, I want to buy AI. They have a problem that they're seeking productivity, and they think that AI might be the answer. And so they're thinking about, okay, can AI help me with screening or scheduling or answering questions or whatever that might be? Right. But they have some job to be done, some problem to solve. And so that's actually where to start is what hurts, and maybe AI can solve that, maybe it can't. Right. And then be able to walk through, okay, how can AI apply to the challenges that a company has? And then, what level of risk tolerance does a company have? If I work at a government contractor, I might be pretty conservative and say, I really want this answer all the time. And on that, if I work for someone else, I might be really adventurous and I want to have the best answer and take a little bit of risk in that. So just understanding that.
So from your perspective, we've evolved from my boss says we need SEO or mobile or whatever, and I'm just going to go buy something that has that in there on their homepage. People are actually digging into the issues and the problems that they're having, and you just happen to have an AI product that will solve that problem, hopefully.
I think that's it. Is companies just should not use AI for AI's sake. You should have a problem you're looking to get work done. AI can break some of that loose and have fundamental changes on it, but AI for AI's sake doesn't help anyone. In fact, often the opposite, where it just confuses people. To your point, like, what did we do here? So I think focusing on the problem is a lot of the answer.
Yeah, so the outcome. So we had Kevin Wheeler, a futurist, on the podcast a few months ago.
Chad likes to name names, if you didn't know that about him.
It's out there. It's out there.
It is out there.
It's out there on Chad&CheesePodcast.com. Anyway, so he had actually said that he sees recruiters going away in the very near future because this technology is so damn good. So where do you sit when it comes to, recruiters just being flushed, being a recruiter yourself at one time, being flushed out of the entire process?
Yeah, I think it's easy to see that recruiting as it's done today, there'll be less of it, and it'll be different.
Okay, so what do you mean by done today?
Yeah, so I think there are two types of jobs in the future for talent acquisition. There are going to be people that design processes and orchestrate automation and set up systems and that maybe serve as air traffic control, and they design how these things work. And there's going to be a second group of people that are on the phone, talking to candidates, meeting with people in coffee shops, and they are convincing them to join. And they are the real recruiters of our industry. And I think what's gone are people that wish they were doing that, but are working in their applicant tracking system, clicking buttons all day, wishing they were talking to candidates. Yeah. So that version of recruiting, I think, does go away. And I think we end up in this path, and what will drive that is competition. So for a long time, people thought technology would replace things, right? Back to the ATM machine. Right. Well, ATM is going to take the job of every bank teller. Guess what? There are more ATMs in the next 20 years after that. I'm sorry, there are more bank tellers in the next 20 years than ever before, because you can run a bank more cheaply and have more bank branches. And so competition will make that work. So just like we will still have salespeople, the ability to go get the best talent, to go convince people to join, will absolutely make recruiting as important or more important in the future to get the best people. But it will look different. A lot of the administrative stuff will go away. There'll be system designers, technologists that do that, and there will be people that really, really recruit.